Morning. Morning. Welcome back. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate that. How's everyone doing today? And everyone catch some of yesterday's... Who caught some of yesterday's downside? What a day. I missed a lot of it. Unfortunately. Yesterday I caught some Netflix downside, but we'll talk a little bit about my expectations yesterday and how it sort of just threw off my day, what happened. But caught a little bit. Birthday was good. Went out with some friends, had some family. Good day. Made a killing on NVIDIA. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, NVIDIA. Jeez, man. NVIDIA. What a day. What a day on NVIDIA. So, yesterday, we'll talk a little bit about it. We'll talk a little bit about today, my expectations. Right, tomorrow is, today's Friday, right? We have the end of the week. We have a holiday weekend, so market is closed on Monday. So we could see, I'm sort of expecting, I'm going to be very cautious, right? Today could be dangerous. A lot of people are going to come into today with like the expectation that the expectation that we're going to see a lot of action again, right? The expectation, if I missed yesterday, I have today. Let's nail it today, right? That's going to be the thought process on everyone's mind. So that concerns me a little bit, right? Do we actually see a move like we saw yesterday, today? That's a question mark for me, right? I don't want to get aggressive thinking that I'm going to see another big move like yesterday and, potentially get chopped up on a Friday before a long weekend into a holiday weekend where most people are probably checked out, right? Institutional traders are checked out, banks, everyone's checked out. I've talked to a lot of friends that worked at banks. I mean, they're like just messing around today. It's like they're not even at work. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious today, right? Do I really need to push it today on a Friday into a weekend? We'll see. We'll see what the action looks like. But that is the first thing I want to point out. Just be careful of that, right? Be careful of potential chop. Be careful of them just sort of pinning this market sideways. I'd be surprised to see another major move like we saw yesterday. Maybe we do. Maybe we see a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of sympathy bounce after yesterday's downside. But it's a little question mark there. Yeah, unsettled funds. If you guys do have a cash account, that's a good reminder there, Kevin. The market is closed Monday, right? So that means banks are closed. That means that if you have a cash account, your money will not settle until Wednesday. So the money will settle on Tuesday instead of Monday. I'm pretty sure you will not have your unsettled fund until Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I think you're right on that, Kevin. So that is something to note, guys. If you're in a cash account, if you want to trade on Wednesday, or if you want to trade on Tuesday of next week, you're gonna have to save some buying power today. Okay, so just be careful of that. What else do we want to talk about here before we get started? We'll talk a little bit about what I expected yesterday, what would have got me involved in the market, and then what we saw and caused me to sort of hesitate. Yesterday, I've had this happen to me before. It's happened to me. I'm trying to remember the day, but there was a day. I mean, maybe it was. It might have been a day after CPI. It was probably like 2 CPIs ago, maybe 6 months ago, where we just went vertical out of the gates. I mean, we opened and went straight up and did not have a single pullback almost the entire day. It was a wild day to the upside. I'm sure you guys remember it. It was probably the biggest green day. It was that day where there was the statistic. It was like the largest green day in multiple years. It was this year at some point, and I froze up that day as well. No pullbacks, no pullback entries, no retest entries, no clean entries. It was sort of just a buy calls and close your eyes type of day. Yesterday was similar to that. It was a buy puts, close your eyes, just ride those things out. There wasn't really any type of big bounces that I wanted to short into. There wasn't any type of big, reversals that I could short back into. It was a little bit difficult for me. And by the time it was over, like 11 o'clock, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stay away from this. So yeah, today was rough, or yesterday was a little rough for me. It was hard. Not because I lost money or not because I, did bad, but it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch, knowing that I did not take advantage of it. So we'll see what happens today, but I definitely had to deal with that yesterday. On top of it being my birthday, it was a little bit of a gut punch. So it is what it is. That's what the market does, right? That's what the market does. So let's get started today. Today's the 23rd December. Futures economic earnings calendar, right? We do have a pretty important economic calendar today to end the week. We'll see what happens there. This is today's economic calendar. This is Friday, December 23rd. We have PCE price index at 8:30. We'll watch out for that. Real disposable income, real consumer spending, durable goods orders, core capital equipment orders. That's all in the pre-market here in just about 23 minutes. So let's watch out for that. We'll see how that affects the market. 10 o'clock, consumer sentiment, 5-year inflation expectations, new home sales. Okay? So that's our economic calendar for today. We definitely need to be watching this. We have some of this coming out live here in the pre-market at 8:30. All right. Elon stopped selling. So there was obviously Elon talked about how he's not going to be selling anymore until 2025. Tesla had a little bit of a pop off of it, nothing that I trust. Does this change something for Tesla? I'm not sure you take action on it on a Friday before a holiday, but it is something to keep an eye out for. Costco, still holding my swing trade there. It did give back some gains yesterday. I am unrealized in the red now, about $300. So I am still holding my position here. Costco held up relatively nicely, and I didn't see a reason to sell it. So still holding that. I'll talk about it today. Apple 130 held very nicely. Apple 130, it did break down yesterday as everything else did, but the 130 level held again. So watching that Apple 130 level, those Amazon, AMD, and Microsoft retest we talked about yesterday was beautiful. Those things all got crushed off the retest levels that we talked about in the live stream. I missed every single one of them, and I'm not afraid to admit it, right? I talked about this in the Discord yesterday. There's a very clear difference between being able to do technical analysis, knowing what you're looking at, and then executing on it. Now, obviously, I do well to execute on these positions, but there's always those days where you just don't execute right. So that was the day for me yesterday. I saw everything that I wanted to see. I saw a lot of setups, and I just did not execute. So we'll see what happens here today. I'm going to watch those same retests. I'm going to show them to you guys today on Amazon, AMD, Microsoft. NVIDIA NVIDIA did exactly what we expected as well. A beautiful rejection around that 166. That 150 level is the next one to watch. So keeping an eye on that. Netflix. Netflix is crazy. Netflix is a crazy hold. That thing held up. It held up very nicely. I'm going to keep an eye on this one today. That did not move down barely at all yesterday with the market. And then finally, Boeing back under 190. Something I'm going to point out to you guys as well. All right. So that's what I got on the economic calendar. Or I'm sorry, on the calendar for today. And let's get started. Thank you guys for all the support yesterday on the stream. It was absolutely insane. I very much appreciate that. The likes, the comments, the happy birthdays. So thank you guys very much for all of that. That was very nice and very appreciated. So I'm going to start here on the S&P 500 today because I think the S&P 500 makes a lot more sense than the Nasdaq right now, and I'll show you exactly why. So if we go to the 4-hour chart and we look at this chart here, we got to zoom out a little bit. Here's the S&P on the 4-hour. Now, you guys can see where did the support step in yesterday? It was around that 3,800 level. The 3,800 level was that psychological level that held here on, what was this? This was back on the 19th. And then we can see right here yesterday, even on that big drop, we held again here at 3,800 as well on the ES. So that 3,800 level, very, very important today. It was a previous rejection here. There was some support that stepped in here, a rejection that stepped in here. So this was a support here. So this was a previously important level here at 3,800. Now, if we zoom in, we go to the hourly chart. Let's just all take a second. Let's just all take a second and look at how absolutely gorgeous this break and retest was at 39.20 on the ES. I mean, this was textbook stuff. It was very clean, right? Previous lows at 3,900. We break it. We retest it. And the rejection at 39.20 was something. That was insane. Very nice rejection and strong continuation pretty much all day yesterday. I mean, look at these hourly candles on the ES yesterday, just straight down. So it is very clear, right? It is clear as day. We cannot be overly bullish. We cannot be really that bullish at all unless you're trading very short term, unless we were over 39.20, right? The only way you turn bullish here on this market is a break over 39.20 and a hold of 39.20. If you're under 39.20, then you know that there is a brick wall above here at 39.20, right? You know that there is a brick wall waiting to smack this market down potentially at 39.20. You have to be very cautious being long under 39.20. So watch out for that level there. On the downside, you have to be careful being short when we're above 3,800, right? You see right here, 3,800. This is on Monday into Tuesday. And then here yesterday, even with that aggressive drop, the 3,800 level held, and we bounced off of it. So right now, right, what do I expect? If I had to be honest, I expect the market to do nothing within this channel today. That's my expectation. My expectation was not to see this straight downside yesterday. So don't take what I say to be 100% certain. But just using, the market analysis that I've done for years and, sort of understand the market to some extent, right? We all can understand it to some extent, but we can't take anything for certain. It seems as though we're going to trade within this range. There still could be trading opportunities within this range, of course, right? We did that yesterday. We went from range high to range low, channel high to channel low. Huge trading opportunity. So there's still trading opportunities within a channel. But we find ourselves right at the middle of it today. Yesterday, we found ourselves at the top of the channel for a rejection, right? Today, we find ourselves in the middle of the channel. So, a little bit cautious today, right? A little bit cautious. Just a little bit, got to sort of, got to be patient today with the fact that we had a big move yesterday. We have a holiday coming up. It's Friday. We have Monday that's closed. It's a 3-day weekend, and you're sitting at the middle of a channel. This could be a day to just maybe write off or just be very cautious of the trades that you get in, scale down, make sure you don't give up anything major. Guys, no one wants to lose a lot of money before Christmas. So, if you're trading today, If you want to if you want to go into a holiday weekend and have a good time and not stress and not have in the back of your mind when you're going out to, your families for Christmas and not in the back of your mind and say, God damn it, I lost $5,000 on Friday. If you don't want that in the back of your head, right, then don't do it today. Don't get aggressive today. Right? No one wants to be going to holidays with their family, with their friends, thinking about what the hell they did on Friday and how stupid of a mistake they made, right? So that's my number one goal today, right? If I can just go into the end of this week, accept the gains that I've made, not do something dumb today, I'll be very happy. That's my goal. So just be cautious of that, right? Right in the middle of the channel, 3920, 3800. What happens here in this channel today? That is going to be the most important thing to watch today, right in the middle of the channel. Okay. Nasdaq is a little bit strange to me. It's not as clean as the ES. So if I go to the Nasdaq, if I go to the 4-hour chart, we can see we did move back down towards that. We moved back down to that channel low here on the Nasdaq. All right, let's just sort of look at that first. You guys can see right here, 4-hour chart. All we basically did was move from the major channel high to the major channel low. We have these lows here around this 1090, a little bit of consolidation here, right? Some support, consolidation here. This really goes from around 1090 to around, you could take it down to around 10.7, right? So just watch out for this range down below. It looks like we did have some demand step up here on the Nasdaq when we traded back into it. It's a little bit of a weird day here, though, because when you look at this 30-minute, there's not really as distinct of a channel as the ES. The ES is a lot cleaner here. The ES was that nice 39.20 rejection, and the Nasdaq was a little bit like that. It was a little bit more, it wasn't as clean, right? You can see this was sort of the area on the ES. It's around that 10.4 or 11.460, 11.5. Go back. So you can see we sort of did the break and retest here on the Nasdaq, but we didn't really get back to this level. Whereas the ES, all right, if we go to the ES, look how much cleaner this was. Previous lows into a rejection, very clean on the ES. The Nasdaq, not as clean, a little bit choppier, not as not as strict to these levels. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious here. You can see we did get that big drop down to that channel low, 10.9. Now today, if we zoom in, you can see we have these previous lows here around this 10 or 11,075, which we could watch out for. You can see we're trading slightly above it today. So I'm going to draw out a zone here around this 1175, which we are slightly trading above right now. And then I will also watch our 11,230 level. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was our level that we were watching previously, 11,230. It's all up in this zone right here, 230, 250. So watching out for that as well. But I think the ES paints me a little bit of a clearer picture here today. You have some rejections possible at 1175, some possible rejections here at 11,230, and then the big level is still clearly up here around this 11,400, 11,450. So you're sort of in the middle as well here on this channel. It's not as distinct as a channel as the ES, so I'm going to be a little bit more focused on the ES today. It looks a little bit cleaner here for me, right? Highs, lows, very clean channel, not a lot of noise there. Nasdaq, it's not as clean, right? You have a lower high here without really a true test of that previous channel. You do have a test of the channel low, but now you're just sort of stuck right in the middle here as well. So a little bit messy there. Just be a little bit cautious. Dow, 4-hour chart on the Dow. You can see we did basically the break and retest on the Dow as well. So here is the Dow on the 4-hour. We got a little bit above it. You can see the Dow was able to break slightly above this 33.5 level, this previous low. But pretty much when you look back at it, you can see break, retest, rejection, 33.5, and then you got your downside. Looks like the Dow is holding up around this, which I really don't know why. I don't really see anything here, but it's around this 32,750. Right, that's your level right now. You do have some previous support here, which you could say is the reason. Right there. You have some 32,750 support here, 32,750 support here, or rejections here. You can see it has double bottomed at that level, so it is clear that that is the level to watch. Okay, so if we zoom in, this looks sort of like the ES. You have a channel high, which I would say is anywhere between this 3350, 33500, around this 33600, and then you have a channel low around this 32750, right? So as of right now, here's your channel. 33.5, 33.6 to 32.750, right? Here's your channel. Here's where you could just trade within today. So you need to be a little bit cautious of that. All right. Russell, I would say same thing. Watch for the Russell to reject this previous high, 1780 today. That would be my watch. It looks very similar to the Dow. 1780, previous rejections. You did pop above it on Wednesday, but you can see how that was not very strong of a hold. So I'd watch this 1780 on the Russell. Of course, we have economic data here in about 10 minutes, so this could all change. We'll have to see and relook at this in about 10 minutes and see what this does. So let's just be cautious of that, but that's my preliminary look here on the futures. Holding some lows, holding some demand after yesterday's big drop. Do we just chop around today into a holiday weekend? That's going to be my number one expectation. Let me quickly go into sort of what I got stuck on yesterday with the market. Now, so I just want to talk a little bit about how, because I know exactly why I missed everything today. If you understand why you missed things today, then it's good though, because you know that your strategy, and you know that you know what causes you to miss trades. You know what causes you to sort of miss out. So if we just go to this 1 minute chart here, yesterday, right? We had the 39.20 rejection, which I could have just been very confident on and said, okay, I'm buying puts at open because the 39.20 rejection is just so clean, and I'm just going to hold, and I'm not going to worry about it. Now, for me yesterday, I came into yesterday wanting to see something along the lines of this, right? Or even something along the lines of retesting the 39.20 and then rejecting, right? This is how I like to approach my trading days. I love to see moves like this. I love to see the pushes, and I love to see the rejections, because this is where you get a lot of bulls that step in. Maybe they're just, sort of chasing, and then you can sell into them, and that's usually a very clean move that I love to take. So I was looking for either that 38.90, the 3900 rejection, or around this 39.20 rejection yesterday. I was hoping for a little bit of a push in the pre-market to short into. Now, when we look at what happened yesterday, I mean, we basically just liquidated from the open. We got straight down at the open, right? Another consolidation, straight down. And at this time, it was around 10:15, 11 o'clock. It was getting close to that 11 o'clock, right? And look at, there's just no retests, no pullbacks, right? No bounces that I felt comfortable in getting into. And that's sort of just how, when I look for those retests, it just doesn't work, right? Retest just didn't work yesterday. There was no retests. It was just straight downside. So that was tough for me yesterday. Like, for example, here, right here, what I was looking for, even after we got that original slip here at open, I would have wanted to see this, right? This is where I would have re-entered for puts right here, right? This is the move that I was hoping to see to get entry on a put, because why would I do that? Because this is a previous low. Right? We break down. Even if we flush it open, right? Let's say we get the big flush it open. Great. Let it flush. Let's look for where the bounce comes in. So basically all morning I was saying, hey, let me wait for a bounce here. And look, no bounce. So I thought I'd walk you through my mindset yesterday. I think maybe that helps some of you guys that are watching. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm just sort of talking out loud about my mindset yesterday and sort of what made me feel a little bit uncomfortable in this move. There was never that nice retest play, right? There was no retest plays yesterday, which is really my strategy. And you know what, man? The fact that I stayed patient on waiting for a retest, I think it shows a lot, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy, but I'm sad. So, yeah, that was my day. That's why I missed a lot. Just never really got those retest trades that I was looking for. Basically just a straight-out liquidation from the open. So, crazy stuff yesterday. What a move. I mean, congratulations, though, guys. If you caught some of it, hey, congratulations. What a move. All right. Tesla Tesla. I mean, I don't know. Oh man, every day that I come into the market, I don't expect Tesla to die again, and it does it again. It just continues to beat my expectations. So, Tesla, let me zoom in here now. I mean, it's pretty clear to me that I would love to see this, right? I'd love to see that. Previous lows into a rejection around 137, right? That would be nice. But obviously that's pretty far way up, right? That's an 8% move even to the upside. So there could be even a move, right? Even the move into this rejection point could be a very nice trade if you just short-term trade it to the upside. We'll see what happens. I thought Tesla was going to try to hold this 137 yesterday. It's clear it did not. We just flushed right under it here, and the continuation was something special. So congratulations there. If you caught that, I'd say I'd watch the same thing today. If you flush these lows, I would say it's around this 124 area. If you flush those lows, look for that downside continuation. If you break these highs, I think it's right around this 130 area. I think that's probably the one to watch, 130. Right? I would watch this area right here, 130. And you could also say, yeah, like Chris said, a little bit of a potential bear flag here. So I would say keep an eye on 130. You can see right here, rejection. I'll go to the 5-minute chart. You probably see it better. Here's your 5-minute chart on Tesla this morning. You can clearly see the rejection here. You can see the rejections here. So I'd say 129, 130. Keep an eye on that. If you get above that 130, let's say you see something like this, there could be something, right? You could maybe see that move to 137 and then the rejection. Or, right, other option, reject 130, flush the bear flag, and then maybe see these new lows. So that's what I'd be watching on Tesla, the 130 level. I think that's your probably most important level to watch today on Tesla. I'll be watching that level. All right. Costco. Beast. I mean, it held up pretty well yesterday. Here's your daily chart channel low. It's around that 454, 450 area. Held it very nicely yesterday. So never really had a reason to sell. Obviously, we did get a little bit, we did lose some money on the swing trade at the open yesterday. Let me go to the 15-minute chart or the 30-minute. Here's what I'm looking at on Costco. So my stop was under 454, and it still is under 454. So you can see we held on to the 454 really nicely. We sort of curled off of it late day. So I am still going to be watching Costco here. And if Costco can break 464, then maybe more. If Costco breaks these lows, then I'm out of the trade for a loss. And maybe there's even continuation to the downside here. So right now, channel still holding on Costco. I'd watch both ways. I'd watch both channels to see which way this moves. Keep an eye on this one. Apple. So Apple, if we go to the 4-hour, here's Apple. And you can see we had this previous low around this 130, right? This was in a very important level on Apple, 130. And if we go to the 15-minute chart here, look at Apple here over the last few days. So this is Tuesday. This is yesterday. I'm sorry. This is Wednesday. This is yesterday, Thursday. And you can see, right? You can see the support and the support that is stepping in at that major 4-hour low. So that's around 130, and you can definitely see some of the support that's stepping in around that 130. Right here, you can see it on the 4-hour chart. 130 double bottom, right? Hold here, hold here. So keep an eye on that 130 on Apple. Is there a potential move off that level? We'll see. If we break 130, then you know what's going to happen, right? If we break 130, then you know what we're looking for here. So 130 big level. I would say watch out for the rejections at 135. It's very clear that it's getting stuck up there. These previous double bottoms into rejections, watch out for that. So right now, Apple's stuck in a little bit of a range, but keep an eye on this one. If it breaks 130, that could be a really aggressive flush. So yesterday, we talked about break and retests on 3 names. We talked about it on Microsoft, we talked about it on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it on AMD. Now, here's the Amazon one. So let me get a little bit more time here. Here is the Amazon one. So this is just it's just some really clean stuff. And yesterday, if you were sort of focused on this, you killed it. So you can see right here, previous lows on Amazon around this 87 level. Nice rejection around this 87 level, right? All right, hold on. We got economic news here coming soon, so we'll go ahead and pop that up. Let's go to the ES because, oh, we're already moving lower, potentially. All right. Looks like we got a little red candle there. Waiting for the news to come out here. So it looks like we got some China COVID news here. Waiting for Walter Bloomberg to update us. A little bit of up and a little bit of down. Nothing crazy right now. Let me know if you guys get the data before me. Looks like it's just sort of doing nothing right now. Let me see if I can find it online. Still don't see it. Is that a real question? I hope that was a joke of a question. Thanks, Nick. All right. Personal income, 0.4 versus 0.3. Personal spending, 0.1 versus 0.2. Core PCE core price index, 0.2. PCE price index, 0.1. It looks as of right now, all is as expected. Pretty much in line. Yeah. Looks pretty in line. Commercial non-durable goods orders down 2.1%. Consensus was down 1.1%. Okay, so durable good orders was down pretty increased. You can see the durable good orders were down by a percentage point more than expected. That 10-year Treasury number just keeps going up, man. 10-year it's happened. The same thing happened yesterday. 10-year U.S. Treasury yields move higher after data. Same thing was reported yesterday. Just keeps going. So that could definitely be a watch, right? If the 10-year continues higher, be careful there. That's going to put some strength or put some weight on the market. Looks like we are starting to move lower here a little bit. So personal income was slightly higher and consumer and spending was lower. But it's all within, 1 basis point. So I'm just going to take it for, how the market reacts. As of right now, it looks like the market is reacting slightly down. All right, we're definitely seeing that. If we zoom out, we can see, let me go ahead and get this gray area off our screens here. You can see we're definitely starting to slip a little bit to the downside. Watching that 3,800, that's going to be the big one. 3,800, guys. If we start to trade into that 3,800 again today, be careful there. All right. NQ, yep, starting to reject there at that previous low. All right, pretty nice rejection around this 11,750 or 775, 11,100. Watching that 10.9. Right, looks like we're could start to see another test of those lows there. If we got to watch out for that. All right. Let's continue. So technical levels on the future stay the same, right? Same thing we talked about earlier. Just watching those technical levels. All stays the same. All right. Amazon. Look at this, man. Look at this. So, yesterday, awesome. Previous lows into a rejection. amazing play, right? Congratulations, anyone caught this. Nice little bear flag, right? Really nice stuff. This is an example of how I talked about this and did not execute on it. So right here, right? Here's just a great example of the difference between, being able to talk to you guys about this and then executing. Now, I do a pretty, you guys do see me and, I know a lot of other people execute on some of the plays we talk about here. But yesterday was just a great example of not doing that. So here was the setup on Amazon, right? Look at this. Amazon, you have the previous lows into a rejection, the bear flag breakdown on Amazon. Look at this chart, and then look at this chart on the right. So absolutely gorgeous there, right? Previous lows into rejections, boom, bear flag breakdown, and look at that continuation. That was sick, right? So that's Amazon, and that's definitely something to watch out for once again today. Now, why do I say that? Look at what's happening right now. Previous lows into rejections potentially around this 84.50. So I would watch out for that, right? Previous lows into a rejection. That was sick. So let's watch out for this again. You guys can see right here, this is setting up very similar. It's a little bit on a shorter term, but look at the same thing. Previous lows into rejections, previous lows into rejections. Look for that, right? So next one, Microsoft, right? Look at Microsoft. So yesterday, did I put Microsoft up? I'm not sure if I did. Was I looking at Microsoft? I don't think so. But Microsoft was also showing a break and retest here yesterday, right here. So you can see Microsoft, you had a previous low into a rejection on Microsoft. This was around that 245 level. And you can see we're doing the same thing again here today. Previous lows into rejections. What are we doing right now? Previous lows into rejections. So 239, very strong previous support into a rejection here at 239. This looks just as good, right? Once again. So can I trust Microsoft just to reject 239 here, the previous lows, and continue lower today? That is definitely something I'm watching here. Microsoft, very clean. Okay? That's another one I would watch. Next, we can look at what AMD did yesterday and what AMD is doing today. Holy crap, it looks good again. Here, AMD. Let me get a little bit more time here. So, here's AMD yesterday, right? Right here. AMD 68 rejection. We had a previous low here, and we rejected it, right? Or we had a previous rejection here. We moved back into it, rejected it once again, 68. Bear flag, started to break down, right? We looked at that yesterday. Look at what happened here. 68, previous support, previous into a rejection, right? And then you can see right here, boom, look at that. So, insane move there on AMD. What is it doing again today? Look at this. Previous lows into a rejection. These are some watches I would absolutely be looking at today. AMD, previous lows into rejections at 64. Microsoft, previous lows into rejections at 239. And then, what was the other one we were looking at? Amazon, previous lows into rejections at 84.50. Those are my top 3 watches there. Those look really good, right? Look how nice that looks. So keep an eye on those, guys. NVIDIA. So 1 hour chart on NVIDIA. What a beautiful rejection of the 166 level yesterday. Very clean rejection. Previous lows into a rejection. That was awesome. Now if we zoom out and go to the 4 hour chart, you guys can see right here. Look at this. So we find ourselves at the channel low here on NVIDIA. We find ourselves at the channel low right here, 151, 150. If we break this area, right, I think you could definitely see continuation here. If we find some kind of strength on this market, you could find a sympathy move here, right? Either way, this is an important level. I'd be watching NVIDIA here around this 150, 151, previous support here, potential support stepping in again. If we do lose it, I think you could get continuation. If we hold here on NVIDIA, then, this is definitely a level I would be watching for potential support, right? Keep an eye on that. Did the market just pop? What did we get? The hell was that? Someone just changed their mind? Did we get news? Or the market's just changing its mind here? Let's see. Okay, hold on. U.S. rate futures price and terminal rate of 4.9 seen hitting in May after U.S. data versus 4.8 just before. I'm not sure whether that is a potentially... Guys, Santa's in town. My God. It's just a move that went right back to where we were before the data, guys. I mean, I know probably some of you are kidding, but I know some people aren't kidding. Trust me. I don't know if this is this data right here, or this news right here, rate futures, rate, the terminal rate. That's probably what did it there. All right, let's continue. Are we back to these days? We might be going back to these days, right? These are the old days where we used to get, people screaming bloody murder on the chat when the candle would be like 0.25%, and they would watch their chart like this. It all depends on how you scale it, right? It all depends on how you scale your chart. You could look at it like this. Look at that. Been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. All right, Netflix. So, Netflix. I am watching this 300 area still. I am still watching this 300 area. This could be a little bit of a bear flag still on Netflix, I think, right? I really do. I mean, if the market does get weak again, that's the prerequisite to this, though. All right, the market has to get weak. It has to get weak. You guys can see right here, previous lows, right? Previous lows into a rejection yesterday. It did hold up pretty well, but does it do a little double top here? And then do we finally get the downside move? So, yes, Netflix has been outperforming, but I'm definitely going to be watching this 300 area. Maybe if everyone gets a little bit too bullish on Netflix, maybe if the market pushes higher again today and it starts to reject 300 here, I'm going to be a little bit aware of the potential rejections here at 300. I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. Not sure yet. Restart. Netflix has been a strong outperformer. Okay. BA. BA is another strong outperformer, and I've been trying to see if I can get BA off this 190, but I took a loss here, and I haven't looked at it since. So I'm a little bit cautious on BA. BA has been pretty nice. If I zoom out here, let me go to extend to the left. Let me get a little bit more time. Here's the daily chart on BA. So I've been sort of eyeing this 190 area, but it looks like we're starting to battle through it, which is definitely showing me some strength. 190, some previous lows here, which I figured could be a potential rejection point. Let me go ahead and move that up there. Go to the hourly chart. So you can see we've been in this constant grind on BA, have been strong outperforming. So I'm going to continue to watch, right? I'm not going to get ahead of a freight train here because it has not given up yet. The first time I got ahead of it, I got stopped out right here. So I got ahead of it around this area here, started to look for that 190 rejection point, and obviously, yeah, it continued through and got me. So I'm not going to get ahead of this, get ahead of it again, but I am going to monitor the 190 area on Boeing. If the market does flip, if we do find extreme weakness, I think Boeing could be a nice short here around this 190. But, of course, right now it's not looking good. Right now it's continuing higher. Not going to get ahead of it yet, but I'm just going to share it with you guys, something that I will be watching. Yeah, we got that defense bill. Maybe that helps it out. I agree with you there. All right. Let's go to the tickers that you guys want to look at today. I would also like to remind everyone, now that you're here, I'm going to have to start doing this on a weekly basis or daily basis. I do not message you. I will never message you first. Discord, Instagram, Twitter, no matter what it is. Take a second and look at who you're talking to online. Make sure it's me, right? I'll continue to say this because people just really are very naive online. And I don't mean to offend anyone, but there are some very naive folks online. And you can get very easily scammed in the world that we live in. So please don't get scammed. Please think about it logically. Do you really think that I would be asking you for Bitcoin? All right, Dow. So the Dow, DOW, it's not the Dow Jones. This is just a stock DOW. Watch this rejection at 53. That's what you wanted to look at. Watch out for the rejections of 53, okay? MRK. We look at this one every day, guys. My analysis doesn't change, right? I know someone just keeps putting this in here. It's the same exact thing every single day. Channel high, channel low. Watch the reactions on the channel. KO. Weak at previous high. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to take a longer-term trade on KO, but you're going to have that longer-term analysis, that longer-term mindset here, because KO is not going to give you a big move on an intraday basis. But yeah, KO, you can see right here, rejection, 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 rejection. So yeah, I would say 65. Watch out for that rejection on KO at 65. CAT, yeah, I mean, if you want to try to do CAT again, 240, right? It's back under 240. Could it reject that previous all-time high? It absolutely could, right? I don't know how CAT's going through all-time highs right now, but, you know, CAT is CAT. It's holding up. But I would say, yeah, watch the 240. But I would stay away from this. I think there's probably better plays out there on the tech sector than trying to play CAT off a 240 rejection. All right. Today, here's my top watches for you. NVIDIA off 150. If the market finds any type of support, watch that support off 150. I would watch Costco off that 454. I would watch AMD. If there's downside, I'd watch AMD to reject that 64. If it gets through it, possible upside. I would watch Amazon to reject this 84.50 previous low, turn that low into a rejection point. I'd watch that. And then finally, I would keep an eye on this Microsoft, but it looks like Microsoft did get through. I wanted to see it stay below 239. That looks like that might be invalidated now. The other one I'd watch is Apple. Apple off this 130. Could this be a strong demand that steps in again? I'd watch out for that as well. You can see right now it is folding that 130 still, finding a little bit of support. Keep an eye on this one. All right. That's what I'm watching today. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. It looks like the Nasdaq is finding a little bit of support there. What's the ES doing? The ES is sort of still in the middle. Be careful in the middle. Watch out for the 39.20, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays to everyone out there. Thank you guys again for watching the live streams, watching, supporting the channel, supporting everything that we do here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic holiday weekend with your friends, your family. Say hi to them for me. Say hi to your sister for me. Just kidding. And have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out.